It's like they were just thrown together, and so there's almost this weird notion of what it would mean to, like you said, when you integrate, like, dude, your initial, like, I was just imagining this huge band that would be like an orchestra, that would be this big show, and all of a sudden you had this huge organic vision of how this was all going to come about, and you knew this guy and me, you were talking about possibility and all this, and then you also had to just focus on you as the individual frontman node of your own show, and get, and that, which was kind of your starting point, obviously. But then you were also telling me, like, dude, if I would have known you played drums back in 2004, I didn't know that. You were telling me how you didn't know that, and I was like, yeah, I guess you didn't, because I
Yeah,
was.
because I was playing with a fucking drummer in Venice Beach at that point. I had a drummer in Venice.
Well, and I didn't play the drums down there. I didn't bring the drums down there. I didn't go hang out in drum circles. I was busy painting landscapes because fuck, I didn't think I was going to earn any money playing drums, But and then now though there's this. Well, fuck, I've already earned $26 from people for playing the xylophone, and I'm like, that is.
26 bucks, man. See that, man? When I said that $20 bill when I was in Florida, and you're like, doesn't sound very good to me, man. Now you know that the
Yeah,
fucking power of that shit.
yeah, yeah.
Because it's not about like the $20, just about the fact that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's it.
It's really that's what it, that's a good feeling, man. It's just
Yeah.
a good vibe.
I sent a long text to my niece today about, all sorts of stuff about how she needs to get out and quit working at this fast food restaurant. And she was planning, she graduated last year in the fall before, during the whole COVID thing. And I don't know, she was like, I think it's a huge disruption. Even that Winona Ryder Girl Interrupted movie, just the title Girl Interrupted, just all of these, people busting out, graduating college or high school or junior high or whatever the next level is. And then there's this whole COVID event. But anyway, I was just kind of like, I wasn't talking to her or texting her about that. I was just texting her more like, look, if you instinctually know, like, you're really good at math, or you're really good at music, or you're really good at something, like, I want you to just, run roughshod and go against the grain of anything that you think is holding you back with your mom or your dad or anybody else's expectations or thoughts about you, and go get it, right? Just go get it. Because and I mean, I don't want her to go, be un, like, everyone's naive at the beginning of the, entering into adulthood. You gotta figure all that stuff out. But it just seems like she's shrouded in a type of maybe paranoia or worry, or maybe it's a virtue in staying in one location doing the same job. But I want her out of fast food. Like, partially, it's a meat slaughter, human gullet business. And like, if she is going
If
to
you
cook,
work for the devil, you are the devil.
well, no, I mean, cook. I don't think chefs that cook meat are the devil. You can think whatever you want. I mean, because
If
in that
you
case,
are the devil, then you are the devil. If
but
you work for the
well,
devil,
if you work for the devil, you are the devil, is what you say.
you work for the devil, you are the devil, and if you are the devil,
Well, you're thinking of that guy you balled out, but now the thing is all music comes from musing, which is to entertain the viscera of one's animalistic being.
if you could tell me one thought
That
that has
you're
that
being that,
was, if
that
you could tell me one thought that you would have that's beyond what the conditioning of all of your training and your schooling is,
oh, I just,
and
well,
and everything that you know from your parents and everything you know, anything beyond that or before that, anything original, please let me know right now.
I think I just told you fucking one. That's my response to you. I think I just fucking outlined one. You know, in trying to talk about something that no one else talks about, that I was trying to convey to my niece about not being slothful with, you know, I guess your greatest gifts, right? Like if art and music were my greatest gifts and I only let one go, that'd be a problem. But if they are leadership, if I'm gifted in leadership, I want that to manifest. Like whatever all of my attenuated gifts are, to maximize one's whole being is, you know, it's different. Like Mercury and Jupiter, you know, zodiac signs. You know, Mercury is very fast and Jupiter is very, you know, gravity dominant oriented planet. And so the whole idea is just trying to figure out, like, take what I learned about my slothful behavior, but compare it to my compare it to the days when I wasn't a sloth, when I was super fast and ahead of everybody, all of my peers, that I was ahead of all of them before everything got kicked into low gear. And then I became whatever it is I became. And through that, I learned that there were nascent talents that I had tucked away, like playing drums. In college, I kind of put an end to everything, and I didn't pursue it, and I just shut it down. And I gave away my drum set to a dude in Seattle, and then I moved down to Venice for the second time out of the 4 times, I guess. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't even be mentioning that, but yeah. Oh. By the way, we're now recording. I'm trying to. I guess I've been recording here for what 7:30 minutes. Wink, wink. I'm recording. You know,
sun's finally coming out here, man. Sun's finally coming out. I knew it. I fucking knew it.
To all people involved. Dude, I really do.
I gotta allow it to happen, man. Allow.
Well, and how would you answer your own question of that? Because
my answer to that question is I don't know.
What? Well,
I don't know because I don't know anything beyond that. But I would like to understand. But based off of thinking of it, I'd like to ponder on that some more.
Oh.
You know, I don't know what a thought would be without
some background conditioning and education, or you mean like a total meaningless thought? Is that what you were driving at, or were you driving at like a unique topic?
I guess so. I was being, yeah, I guess so, yeah.
Oh, well.
Just like something other than, like everything that's ever, it seems like every conversation comes from, well, it doesn't seem, I just know that everything I say and think of, like it all comes from like all the stuff I learned. And I'm not sure if like I'm just repeating what some other human being, what millions of other human beings are repeating at the same time right now, or based off, I don't know, if it's all been the same for all the other people that you see, all these other people, if they're on the same wavelength of like the same conditioned thinking. I assume they are. I assume that they are, but I really don't know.
Well, I mean, I think there's been so many humans on the planet that were probably very thoughtful, that they pondered roughly the same things that we pondered, you know, and they just didn't write it down, or it wasn't a big thing for them, That not, I don't think human pondering has gone a long way. Although, but then again, we have greater access to other one's imaginations, and so that allows maybe a different, I don't know, emphasis on pondering. I guess like a culture like that you want to ponder on things more. I don't know. Maybe you don't like pondering. I think you ponder a lot. I think I pounded her while you were ponding her. Of course, kidding.
No, I'm just staring at my fucking beautiful artwork, man. Just chilling by it in its own little right.
Dude, I think the thing
like
I don't.
these racks that I created, man. I just have the two pieces out and the two racks, and it just looks like so nice, just like very clean, nice.
I was good. I was just gonna say the thing I don't like about Cole that you described as he wants to take over was that he had no sense of a bro code at all, meaning in terms of men's relationships to women. And I noticed another guy definitely did not have even a sense of it, or he came along with a sense of over entitlement in my mind, and I got all fucking bent out of shape. And both of them, I would imagine, are roughly the same age. And I thought, maybe there's a greater preponderance of either not giving a shit, which is probably it, which seems like a huge, like, I don't know, like a sense of ignorant disrespect. Like if they could see what I see them violating by doing what they're doing, and that's I don't know, that it would be, I think the contrast is what's a problem. Because I was thinking like what would it really be like if you were a vampire and you went to sleep for 150 years and you woke up and you're in a culture that speaks maybe the language that you kind of remember, but it's got its own, it's different now, and you can go watch movies like like Superman in Interview with the Vampire. He's going to watch Brad Pitt gets to go watch Superman on the big screen, and he's pontificating about what it's like to finally see what daylight is like again since before he turned to a vampire. Anyway, then my point, I guess, that
It's a
is,
hard life, man. It's a hard,
I
it's a
don't
hard
think,
life.
I don't think because somebody, I don't think because a young person working in a fast food restaurant is a devil because they work at something that slaughters animals. To me, it's a type of inherited ignorance and naivety, or it's overlooked as such. It's not viewed that way. It's not considered that way. It's not a thing at all. You know, the human's consumption of meat and the industrial processing of it. And then the virtue of being a cook has to do with the aesthetic of the palate, and it can go in various directions. And so I don't think cooks work for the devil. Anyway, my whole point would
No,
be that you could
you
sum that
are the
anybody,
devil.
anyone
If
is
you
the
are
devil.
the devil, then you work for the devil.
No, I know, but that's why I was like, dude, you're still on those two dudes that you chased off.
What
Like,
two guys? What are you talking
the
about?
two Santa Monica guys, the sweater guy that was like the guy from The Simpsons that you on Ashland's.
Oh, I
And then
chased them away?
no, the way you got in their face after the fact, and then you told
I
you
was just getting over the fucking nicotine fitting at that point, and those guys came up on the wrong days to me. Everybody knows that you never fuck with the guy on his first 5 days off some fucking cigarettes, man. Everybody knows that rule.
no. I'm not saying you weren't giving off of cigarettes, but I'm just saying like you accused one of them of working for the devil because, and
No,
then you brought
because
that.
I just wanted to say something that would really fucking piss him, like really bother him for the rest of his life.
Oh well, no. Even though when we're down there and we're jamming and there's no one else that's around, and you come over and you start singing, and then people show up. You're like, "Can you go to hell?" You're like attenuating the music, and I was like, dude, you could probably go, without condemning everyone that's listening to your music to hell. And I thought,
Well, that was because my mind was in a state of hell for those days, my friend. So I was expressing my demonic. What was happening to me physically was that this, what I call a demon, which is really the drug called nicotine, was exiting from my bloodstream during those 3 to 5 days, whatever it takes. And during that period, your body it reacts really weird, especially when you've been using that drug for years. I think I stopped smoking in 2015 for like a year and a half. So that means I've been smoking it for like 3.5 years or something like that. And so that's a lot of fucking drugs. You gotta know that's gonna fucking. Then, dude, I've been trying to stop for a year, like over and over.
I've only ever known you as a smoker.
So I finally fucking pulled it off, dude. That's dope. But those 5 days, those 5 days were hard, man.
You smoked plenty of cigarettes in 2004.
Anything that I did, everything that I did in those 5 days was like really. I was like fighting this really negative energy that was in me the whole time.
Yeah, no, you were definitely edgy. I mean, I was there. I wasn't there the whole time, but I was there during your quitting process. I mean, you would start.
It's just like little tiny things. It's just because I did it the way that ensures that I'm done. I just fucking didn't. I didn't do any dumbass bullshit.
Well, the thing, Mormon competing Mormon Puritan aspect to living would be that you couldn't blame it just on nicotine. You blame it on any intoxicant.
Well, I met the thing head on, and I took it on, and so far I got it.
Yeah.
That's it, man.
Yeah, I think it's great. I think it's good news.
I fucking got it, man. Actually, dude, they sell fucking. I actually bought CBD flower yesterday for $10. It was an eighth.
Yeah.
Remember that stuff that I was smoking in Florida? I was telling you about.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like legal. It's like 0.03% THC, and then it's CBD. But they also sell fucking cigarettes like that now, like just CBD cigarettes, a pack. And I did not buy those.
Dude, I want one of those brown rolled, like flavored tobacco. They're wrapped in a string, and you got like maybe a box of 10 of them, not like 20. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, I don't even know if they sell those anymore. Do you know what I'm talking when I'm talking about that? Like
you mean like fucking beanies?
Yeah, like a bean. Is that what they call it? A beanie? Yeah.
Right?
That sounds right.
The Indian ones.
Except for they were like, you could flavor them. You could buy like an orange one or a blueberry one, or they had some. It was either on. They dipped it in the flavoring maybe, or they put some flower aroma flower in the tobacco that would burn with it, or maybe it was both of those things. Yeah, I don't. It sounds right. You call it a beanie, a bean, something.
Beanie.
Yeah, beanie. Yeah.
Yeah, beanie. Hey, beanie.
Hey, yo, what's up? What's up, non-beanie? Man, yeah, there is a kind of a difficulty of thinking like, well, if I was God, I'd send me to hell. What good was I in this place? What did I do?
Well, that's what that guy was trying to tell me yesterday, that this is hell. This guy was trying to tell me that this is man. Man is the lowest form of God, and God is the highest form of man. And I was like, I kind of agree with you on that, but I don't know. It's really, really interesting thing to say, actually.
Well, and then did you think like, well, Elon Musk is the dominant primate, and so he's more heavenly than all of us lower non-five business running to billionaire powerful influencers on the universe. I mean, I do have to admit, I
we
still
were
think
talking more like,
the Beatles are more effective.
no, the Rat Pack, man. The Rat
Oh,
Pack.
the Rat Pack, yeah.
That way, because I can be like, hey, babe.
And you want to know why it's the Rat
Hey,
Pack?
babe, it's Sammy Davis here, babe. Hey, babe.
And because I did it my way. I think that's Sammy, or maybe that's the other.
Actually, the guy that wrote that song is called Clo, he's Frenchman.
No, which one was it? It was God, what's his name? You got Sammy,
Clo.
and you got Frank Sinatra. Yeah, Frank Sinatra. What am I thinking? No, not Frank. The dark-haired Italian fella.
Oh, Monte Carlo.
Yeah, help me out with his name. I'm gonna have to look up the Rat
Bing
Pack.
Crosby, man.
Oh, God.
Bing Crosby.
It's like me confusing,
It wasn't Bing Crosby. It was,
Robert Redford for
pizza pie. What's that guy's name? Rocky.
Yo, some pizza pie, Rocky Balboa.
His name is
Rudolph. Yeah. Oh, so you were trying to guide me in, and
Dude, I'm getting in there. It's like somehow the combination of words and thoughts gets me to know this man's name, and I see his face in my mind, and he was like, the pizza pie, it's amore.
Yeah.
On like that, like fucking,
Yeah.
like some type of pasta song. He was friends with Sammy and Frankie and fucking.
Friends, he's part of the Rat Pack. He's totally part of the Rat Pack.
He was like the tall, dark, handsome.
Yeah.
He was probably the guy that got laid the most.
And he smoked the most cigarettes of all of them. He was like the biggest smoker.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, he smoked way more than those other guys. He always had a cigarette. I mean, all of them smoked, but.
Dude, I just pulled off a fucking miracle, man. Like, I needed to brush my teeth, but I ran out of water, and all I had was like fucking half a cup of tea left. And I just could not stand my teeth being as dirty as they were anymore this morning. And so this afternoon now, I just barely pulled it off. I have like 3 sips of tea left now.
Dude, I'm just glad
I share that with you. Harry Connick Jr. is something like that guy, something like Harry Connick Jr.
I'm glad you didn't tell me you drank your own urine. Or I washed my mouth out with my coconut flavored urine. You want to know why it's coconut flavored? That's what that lady was telling me. She says it's because I'm on an all raw vegan diet. And she says it won't taste bad if you don't have any processed food.
Actually, that's kind of true because I accidentally drank some of my urine,
Well, I told her, I said,
ago, and it was weird because it really didn't. I wasn't sure if it was. I could just barely tell it wasn't water.
I just, it was like, it's kind of like now, it's like knowing somebody, like if someone told you that they, ate out a donkey's ass. They'd be like a difficult person to date, or like, oh yeah, I was like blowing a large dead hippopotamus. Like if some lady told me that, and then she talks about drinking her own piss, on the regular. And so somehow there was just something like, wow, I'm really extra intrigued, but I don't know whether or not, I'm overly charmed in the dating department, but we have a lot in common elsewise. It's almost like I prefer, I guess, to date a woman that just brushed her teeth with some good old Colgate and drink water.
Yep. Just water and Colgate.
Or maybe Tom's and water.
Fucking said hi to people, man.
Well, I also did tell her
that. Hey, how you doing?
Don't be surprised.
Oh my God, I got pizza. Yeah, you guys, if you want a slice, you can have a slice. Get the fuck out of here.
And I think he played in Lawrence of Arabia too. His name wasn't Bing Crosby, and it wasn't Sammy Davis Jr., and it wasn't It
It wasn't
was.
fucking Peter Fonda, right? And it wasn't fucking Jose Cuervo,
Oh, Lord.
and it wasn't fucking
Oh, Lord.
these girls are taking pictures of my sign and shit, taking pics. I like that. Finally, man.
You know how many real billboards you can have compared to
Finally get
digital
a pic of
billboards?
my fucking Instagram sign today.
And they're busy like, that's a great idea. Let's put
Well,
it on
see, that's the
Instagram.
other thing about doing this. It's like you don't have to be selling it all the time. So a lot of this is it's just there. Like people really want to fucking hit me up later. It's not doesn't I don't have to like go and attack everybody that fucking walks by my fucking art, you know?
Yeah, no, yeah.
And like you get a sense like if somebody looks around looking to see where the person is that has this art, then I kind of go into that for sure. That's the fucking pissed off on top of commonality.
I approach it differently. I think if they can associate who did it or narrow it down in their mind, they'll look at it. And then if they already know that you're one of like two people that did it, then
No, because
that's
there's too
when I
many
turn on the
people
kill
hanging
line.
out around here. You know, like that's why I was saying it would be dope to set it up in the van. Like I do like the idea. I saw this guy in New York that was selling it out of a bus. Like he got a bus, converted it, and then but he had it so that like the way he set up, but it was like a serving counter for food, but instead he had all his art out, and he would just park wherever he was in this one spot or another spot, and just set up on the street for like the day, you know, and have all this art like on his bus, but it looked like nice and like professionally well done.
Yeah, I mean,
But
dude,
that's
still
a
kicking my
different
ass.
way to go about doing this because in that way, like, and I could definitely do that in this exact spot because then that way you're always, if it is colder out, you're just always just chilling with all your fucking gear.
Well, hey, if I had a 35-foot school bus, could I have parked it there?
No.
See, so that's good news. That makes me feel okay about letting that monstrosity
But
of
if
a.
you had I would say like a 15-foot one, you might be able to.
Yeah, well, and I would like to find one.
Maybe not 15. Yeah, like the one that O has.
I don't even know what O has. So
He bought like one of those smaller wheelchair ones where you just open it up. Like he doesn't have a seat, but the passenger seat, side seat, and he just opens the door like the old school bus. Looks like a white one, not older, but a newer version. Newer, older maybe. Sun's coming out, motherfucker. I called it. I knew the sun was gonna come out today. It was gonna be blue skies. I knew it. Fuck yeah.
that's right, dude. If I
like fucking Roger Waters called it comfortably numb. I call it uncomfortably numb. Dude.
oh, you're
I
not the
call it
first.
uncomfortably numb because he's talking about like getting high with a lot of money behind him. I'm talking about getting high with a lot less money. So
I thought
that's uncomfortably numb.
when I fuck my feet up and then I would use a lot of drugs to knock them back. I thought, man, this is uncomfortably numb. And so I that's kind of how I was interpreting that at one point.
Well, I just saw some bit of him like earlier talking about like all the music he wrote about how now this shit's really happy. Like he's going against like he was going he made some he was either TikTok or YouTube. It was one of those things. But he was talking about like how Mark Zuckerberg wanted to buy the rights of one of his songs and put it on. I forget what they wanted to use it for.
Yeah, I saw that.
What's that?
I saw that video, and he said, and I told him to fuck off, or man.
He said, "Fuck you, Mark Zuckerberg."
Yeah. I
don't care how much money you offer me. The answer is no.
Yeah, I mean, because Mark isn't he's not a clean CEO. I mean, he's got ideas and he's got a lot of power, but he's not. And anyone can kiss his ass because he's got that much power, but he's not like. I don't think of him as a type of philanthropist. He'd be okay, I guess, to get a selfie with maybe, but uh, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Roger Waters. Why would Roger Waters need to sell out something that's got a pure legacy to it for a mere? He has no. I mean, Roger Waters has a legacy. He doesn't need to. Yeah.
Yeah, but see, Roger Waters also thinks that the Earth is round. He also thinks that.
Oh, that's absolutely crazy.
He's like a conspiracy himself, to me, because he's from a time period that all of that music was my conditioning.
That's right.
For all of his music and a lot of other people's music conditioned me,
Oh, yeah.
and a lot of it's really unhappy how it was conditioned into me. What I thought was cool back then, opposed to what I think is cool now.
Well, dude, you had flip flopped on the Grateful Dead. You were really happy, and then one day you called me and you were calling them the devil's music.
I still feel that way about them. I feel like I was betrayed by all the fucking music that I ever loved.
When you started paying attention to the lyrics, you were betrayed. I felt like that.
I just hear them differently now. I fucking hear a truth in the lyrics that I could just not. I was like wasn't aware of. I wasn't awake. It's hard to explain what I'm trying to say. Because it's like, I guess I wasn't intellectual or intelligent enough to understand.
I couldn't sing I couldn't even, I'd have a hard time doing a karaoke of a single Dead song from front to back. That's where I'm at.
It's just their music is like, it's like they stand for like this hippie fucking love thing, but when you listen to the lyrics of their music, they're not talking about that.
Well, like, right.
They're not talking about hippie love, man. They're talking about fucking demons and devils and like not good shit, man.
Well, give me an example. Like, give me a lyric that they say that does that or that you're talking about. What are you talking about?
I wouldn't even know because I don't memorize their lyrics. But when I listened to it, when I was listening to I just had this epiphany when I was in Venice and I was listening to that guy, the dude that plays there every day. I was just set up next to him and I was listening to him like every day. And then I just started, and I was like kind of tuned him out because that's what you do, you just tune that fucker out. And one day I was just like, I started to accept it. I was like, maybe if I accept all the sounds that are annoying to me right now, instead of seeing them as annoying and like finding the goodness in the sounds, maybe I'll make more sales. Maybe I'll open up the energy field to be a little more. So I started to do that, and I started listening to all the lyrics of all the different people that guy covers, and that's all from the certain time period. But all of the music was demonic lyrically, and he plays a couple of like Rolling Stone songs and just all the people he covers. And I was just starting to have like a little thought about how I wondered if like all of that music and all of music is that. And it was like, it's like so controlled that what I'm hearing is only it's like this part of my conditioning was all of it, not just some of it,
Well, I totally get that, but I wanted to ask,
like why has music always been about all the stuff that I ever liked, always the most depressing of it all?
I don't know.
Like maybe some goth music.
Well, I mean, the thing is like you can categorize it there, and I thought one great yoga for people becoming enlightened, to take care of the war of the internal, is to accept possibly that they are hellbound, and then try, I suppose, to not only exclude yourself from close proximity to such boundedness, I suppose, if you want to somehow alleviate it. But if you trust that God is somehow overarchingly more forgiving and loving than whatever notion of hell-boundedness that one might want to speculate they accord or don't accord to, right? Like, then have at it. But to me, the great exercise is getting beyond that, where you're able to walk into the flame and the horror of the concept while both being conscientious that other people might be interpreting what you're saying with a different double entendre than you believe that they could interpret your music. Like, remember back in the early 2000s when the majority of humans still believed we lived on a globe Earth? You remember that? Before Elon hit the inside of the globe and
Yeah, man. Before people were like, hey, how come Elon Musk hasn't really ever gone to space?
yeah. Why is he
I've
just
it's been like 40 years now and he still hasn't gone up there.
Yeah, I mean, he's got those nice play rockets and all, but
Those fucking rockets are bomb, man. Shit.
I think
land, they just fucking land. They
just,
come back and land.
I think it's just computer animated. I don't actually think that anyone's actually seen it in person. I think it's
oh, really?
animation. Yeah, I mean that's what I think a good flat earther would have to probably argue.
But I mean, they're saying that shit's real.
Well,
right? They're saying that fucking Captain Kirk went up there, right?
Yeah. Someone apparently just barely interviewed
just like they were
him.
saying that the Tooth Fairy was real, and they used Tom Hanks in the beginning. Tom Hanks got it. Hey, Tom Hanks says it. Remember that at the very beginning? It was Tom Hanks, that chick, that other girl. They got it.
Are you talking about Gremlins? Was Tom Hanks in Tom Hanks wasn't in Gremlins. What is that B-rate movie? What is that B-rate movie? Now I'm gonna have to go through the damn
house. It was something with the word house in it.
Like before or after Splash, would you say? Probably after Splash.
After Splash. After Splash. Or no, right around that time.
Maybe around that time.
That's that same like year or two.
Yeah, and it was like, I know what you mean. It was like a B-rate fiction, like a horror movie, or
that's
like a
one
murder,
of my go-to.
like a detective.
Name of that shit, man. I should know
Dude,
that.
Listen to us, man. We don't know the Rat Pack guy, Jerry.
Fuck that guy, man. That's
whatever, and here's and then we don't even know this Tom Hanks film. It's like all of our what do you call it? Scooby snacks have got to our memory sticks and caused the dislocation between our long-term memory. Is it not Jerry Lee Lewis? That is going to drive me crazy, and I'm not going to look it up. Jerry, isn't it Jerry? Is his name Jerry? Come on, someone from the audience, type this. Oh shit, someone's on here typing. Oh. I like it. He's like, yay, how's USA Tech going? I'll have to tell you about this other thing. Looks like you took down your old USA Tech bid. What happened, bruz? Oh, well, the advanced dungeons and shitcoin is what happened. And for those of you that don't know that there is a shitcoin, there is a shitcoin on the market. And I don't know, whoever typed either heard about the old USI crypto thing. Because I was telling this guy here that I'm on the horn with, the guy that's watching or was watching that, or maybe is watching that I was making a lot of money in 2017 on crypto. And anyway, so. Somebody just typed that, and that was an old crypto company, USA Tech. And this other one, I guess, is Time. It's the coin is called Time. What do you think about that, Phoenix? Unless you like to sell something. Unless you Oh shit, I should show my audience. Let's see what you think. comparative to other humans, one might think they're in the good graces of God just by comparison. Who really knows? Such a concept. It seems like an on high declaration that one could interpret the world in such a manner. And I do believe the powers that be have amazing power. But who knows what other people's stories about what an afterlife consists of. Other than the notion of fire, near fire, and if one is disembodied and disnerved, then I would imagine it would just be a very high volatility state for appropriate for high volatility spirits or minds. Yep, probably hung up at this point. But in any case, if he didn't and you're talking fixed, I can't hear you now. I think you probably in any case, I was just going to say, you could practically say there's nothing that humans in modern society do that doesn't have a bend towards something that people in the past would certainly call heretical, and even probably the Amish and the most ascetic of Hasidic Jews probably have notions of, yeah, this is just fine. Okay, the Talmud says, enjoy life and make certain you get interest on those others if you can. If they enjoy life. Oh, in any case. All right. Well, and now I'm back at the same old thing, and I don't have the back and forth banner with anyone, and me left to my own devices is strictly kind of getting burden enough of me by myself. So I'm not certain that it will much matter. But, if I don't think I get a lot of traction on my videos for my own person anymore. I like talking to buddies. Now that was Phoenix Falcon. He's in my documentary. I've known the guy for 20 years. We got back and forth, fought, left, didn't talk for probably. We didn't talk a lot. And then after we got in this fight, we didn't talk for over a year. I have a few friends that we fought, and then there was a whole year off before we talked again. And anyway, he's one of those guys, and he's an artist, fellow artist, and he's currently in La Jolla, which is it's close. It's in San Diego, Canada, instead of Los Angeles, Canada. And I was just in Los Angeles with the guy, and not with the guy, but amongst the guy, playing some music together and just having a hoot, playing the xylophone next to his guitar in front of people getting ready to play co-ed flag football. And we were just laughing because we're out there playing. I'm playing a xylophone. He's playing a guitar, and they're warming up. And then I smack and play something in the end, and I yell, "Game on!" And he says, "Dude, they love you now for saying that." And then we were hanging out talking about this 5G tower it was a 5G tower that the city of Los Angeles paid somebody to decorate as a palm tree. But it was obviously just, something that, there was no mistaking it for a palm tree, obviously. It wasn't like that close. And so we were laughing at that, but then we were playing, and then we paused, and he was laughing, saying, "Man, I just like I was just thinking like nobody in this park has heard a guitar xylophone duet, and just how crazy it is. And we did captivate them. And because they were joining getting ready to play this after there was a Pee Wee baseball game, and he and I were in our respective bands, hanging out, kind of looking a little more disheveled than this more wealthy community, probably quite wealthy community, a couple dozen blocks inland from the coast in LA, and so when I finally popped out of my vehicle and I broke out the xylophone out of the back, I heard one of them say, "Oh, okay, hey, wait!" Like they were like, 'cause I think they were trying to figure out like, "Hey, who are these guys hanging out in our park?" You know, and so during the transition from the Pee Wee game to the sporting adults getting ready to play co-ed flag football, I kind of got out there and started playing about it. Not even that interesting story, actually. I think, yeah, sometimes less is more. Sometimes less is more. Most times more is more. But, anyway, oh, if you guys haven't seen the movie Exit Through the Gift Shop, I highly recommend that as an art film. I hope one day, if people ring my up button and whatnot, that maybe I'll do some interviews with several artists. And what I'll do is I'll link Phoenix's Instagram on this channel, and you guys know where to find me. Oh, and get a load of this. That painting finally is, I got these large 2x3 prints of it. I'm just trying to get my link set up to people that want a 2 foot by 3 foot print of that that's authenticated to me, send out. I'm probably running it at $60 currently to get it. But I don't even have the link. But as soon as I get the link set up, I should drop that in the comments too. Should drop it. I'll do my best to promise myself that when I remember to do it, that I'll do it. Let's get it. So apparently Piro on here, not to bring it back to the online group, has a brother that does busks art. I didn't know that. It's kind of odd to find that out after such a long time of knowing him. Oh, and by the way, I went to see Steve Ernst, and when I was in LA also, and hung out with him, and have some photos of us. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Dude, are you there? Oh. Okay. Anyway, I guess I'm just gonna exit out. What good is 50 minutes that way? But thanks for spending it with me, and keep in mind, I've got no grace. I walk at a slow pace. It's hard keeping eye contact and look in your face. Seems to me it's hard to be guilt-free in a world where what you're doing might be someone else's mental or actual demise. So I'm not trying, my intent isn't that, but an echo, semantic echo off of symbols and context that one extracts and or correlates in their own mind. A lot of that has to do with your own personal business, and try to be the best center of one's being that I guess one ultimately devotes to their future. I guess I could go off about the cartouche style of certain elements within Phoenix works that are roughly precarious, well, not precariously held together, like on the paintings that he does, or collage paintings. I guess I could point to one kind of, that's one of his pieces right there with the van. It's like a layered 3D piece with a lot going on in it. But now he's working on these kind of like discrete circles and walled off areas that have different spot modes in it. So it kind of creates a geometric or a positional relationship with what are other elements within his paintings. But it's very weird actually.
Hello, Moto.
Let's see what this is real quick. Hello. Okay. Later, guys. Well, what I was going to do is paint this loop here. So, what's the matter with your head? What's the matter with your head now? Hey now, nothing matter with your head now. Hey now, come on, baby, when, come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love, come and get your love. Okay, so anyway, this black line of spot is kind of like an Egyptian cartouche outline. Yes, that's right. Yo, if you like the bone paintings, like I like bone paintings, when I did it, I love doing those skeletons kissing. You got 60 bones, and you're in the domestic U.S., send me that, and I'll ship it out, and I'll pick up the shipping cost. See the link below. Come get your love.